In a world where anime looks like this, a return to normalcy and a step back from the ridiculousness of whatever seasonal garbage is being regurgitated in your mouth can be refreshing, to say the least. Fortunately, 91 Days, dubbed the least anime, delivers on just that. Mostly. Taking place in the Prohibition era, 91 Days follows Angelo Lagusa and takes us down his road to get revenge on the Venetti family for brutally gunning down his mom, dad, and younger brother when he was a kid. This is the third anime in a row that I'm talking about where kids die. I think I need to calm down a little. One day, while looking like the time period he's in was named after him, he receives a letter identifying 3 of the men that killed his family. He decides to meet up with his old pal Cordio and use his friend's Moonshine as an in to infiltrate the Venetti family and get revenge on those who killed his own. Revenge stories really tend to pull me in, especially when the characters are as interesting as they are in this series. Characterization is absolutely the biggest strength 91 Days has. The way that they're able to hone in on their smaller main cast and pay attention to small details, like showing Angelo's sweet tooth, is amazing, and makes all the characters feel unique, but it causes you to really not know who to root for. Angelo feels so justified in his actions, however, you end up really liking a decent amount of the characters that he wants to kill, where it's hard to even cheer for him. And then there's Nero, who seems like a stand-up guy and you really grow to like and care for him as the story continues, despite his awful past and previous wrongdoings. You can compare it to Death Note in how Light is certainly the protagonist of the story, and L is the antagonist. However, the story itself is so morally gray that you can't really paint either party as the good or the bad guy. What makes it feel even harder is how amazingly 91 Days is able to make their characters feel very real and human. You can attach yourself and invest in a character in an episode only for them to meet a very untimely fate in the next. It makes the stakes feel so much higher, and you feel like this isn't just a character that died, it's a person who genuinely impacted the world around him. And then there's Fongo. Books should be written, songs should be sung about this man. He might be one of the most memorable characters in any show I've watched. I don't want to spoil too much about the show, but remember, real G's move in silence like lasagna. Unless you go against Fongo, then much like Don Orco, you end up in it. Now, its characterization and story can carry the show alone. However, it's not the only strong suit of 91 Days. On a more technical aspect, the OST is amazing as well. After a few episodes, I usually skip OPs, no matter how good they are, but 91 Days is one of the few I watch every time. It's made by TK, and if you don't know who that is, yes you do. Unravel is way too popular for you not to. Little side note, if you like this OP and Unravel, please go listen to more TK. He's genuinely too talented to just be known as the Unravel guy. Outside of that, songs from the OST have been playing the whole video. They're all very solid and do nothing but strengthen your immersion. The animation does just that as well. Studio Shuka did the work on it, and if you haven't heard of them, I can't blame you. I sure as shit didn't before I did my research for this video, but apparently they were created around 2013 and consist of people who left Brainspace, and you already know my thoughts on Brainspace anime. The pacing of this show is amazing, outside of the one episode where Nero juggles. It just felt weird and stagnant to me. It did a great job in further showing more character for both Nero and Angelo, but it just felt slow. Outside of that though, the show has your attention every minute from OP to EP. I watched this series in a day on my first viewing, and any rewatch. It's able to keep me so entranced and interested that I just always want to keep going to the next episode. Something a bit unfortunate is that it does have an episode 7.5, which is just a recap. It seems super unnecessary to me for a 13-episode anime, but it is what it is, and knowing just to skip it definitely helps you keep the pacing and just keep watching through to the end. And episode 13, the climax of the show, is amazing. To me. The ending is a huge cliffhanger, and I know some people aren't big fans of that, but to me, I don't think I could have ever thought of a better ending. Angelo, after doing what he does, absolutely does not deserve a happy ending. And Nero doesn't either for what he's done, and the show simply ends leaving you thinking about how close to each other these characters got, and instead of ending the story outright, it gives 91 Days so much replayability. 91 Days tells an amazing story, with plenty of twists and turns. There's never a moment where a character isn't being expanded on, or there isn't something going on pushing the plot forward. From pacing to characters to sound design and animation, I can't speak highly enough about 91 Days. And for a mystery show to be able to keep someone captivated on multiple rewatches, much like Angela's family, they really killed it here.